needs of the stakeholders and the deficiencies which had to be addressed in order to improve our overall standing globally where doing business is concerned. To achieve this, the government sought to employ measures to reduce the lengthy procedures involved in doing business, as well as to implement much-needed reform of the required processes. A lot of these measures which we took were concentrated within the Customs Department. This pre-launch today is a culmination of efforts between the International Finance Corporation, a division of the World Bank, and the government of St. Kitts and Nevis to ensure that systems and indicators for doing business are reformed. The first step being the reformation of the process for starting a business or business entry. One of the noted deficiencies for starting a business was the many procedures involved before an entity can be fully operational in St. Kitts and Nevis. In an effort to ensure that there is proper involvement of all of the relevant parties, we have invited you to this pre-launch, which is also going to be a consultative in nature proceedings, as we share our procedures, also our proposal with you, so that you may contribute and be joint owners of this process. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis welcomes this initiative, which will assist us in not only improving the way in which business is done at the local level, but will improve our ranking globally. We are very much aware of the direct impact of the ease of doing business on competitiveness and hence growth. This is really needed at this time, that is growth and development, given the conditions in the global economy which have translated to the local economy. This is therefore a timely venture that we seek to improve our investment climate. We would therefore like to thank the World Bank, and in particular the IFC, for this opportunity to forge new alliances which will result in the delivery of much improved services to our stakeholders and should be evidenced in an improved ranking in the doing business in the international arena. I wish to once again welcome all of you here. I want to thank you for coming. We value your input, and I expect that we will have a half day where we will collaborate and we will have much input so that we can format this project going forward in a way that will be mutually beneficial to all. This calls for collaboration, this calls for partnership with the private sector, because really this would impact the private sector most. And so we want to thank you for being here, and we trust that it will be a fruitful proceeding. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Petty. Good morning, everyone. Please permit me to adopt the protocol which was previously established. I would like to add my voice to the chorus of welcomes already extended to you at this, the pre-launch of the Doing Business Entry Reforms Project. In 2006, the Financial Services Regulatory Department served as the facilitator between the World Bank, the government, and the private sector in the initial phase of the Doing Business with the OECS project. We are once again delighted to be an integral part of this process by ensuring that the reforms associated with starting a business are practical and easily implemented. In the 2010 Doing Business in St. Kitts Nevis report, the World Bank listed 8 procedures which are involved in starting up a business. They are as follows: search and reserve a company name, prepare and notarize company statutes, register with a commercial registry, open a bank account, purchase a company stamp, obtain a business license, obtain a tax identification number, and register the firm as an employer with Social Security. These processes are just as they seem to be, lengthy and requiring much effort and involvement on the part of the entrepreneurs. They require 45 days on average for completion and have resulted in St. Kitts Nevis being ranked 86th globally on this particular indicator. It should be noted that the Doing Business report not only compares St. Kitts Nevis with its peers, with other small nations, but also compares us with developed countries. Therefore, we have an opportunity to benefit by carefully considering reforms that other countries have implemented and determining the best fit for our needs. The company registry, which is housed at the Financial Services Regulatory Department, is responsible for the incorporation of companies, the registration of trusts and limited partnerships, and the establishment of foundations. It is also directly responsible for 2 of the 8 aforementioned procedures, and is the first point of contact outside of the St. Kitts Investment Promotion Agency for the establishment of companies and doing business in St. Kitts. The Doing Business World Bank project has served as a catalyst for the review of the internal systems and processes at the company registry. Such a review was designed to employ measures to reduce bureaucracy and enhance the delivery of services to the private sector. This has resulted in the implementation of an electronic database for the company registry documents and recommendations made for the amendment of relevant legislation. The initiative which we are undertaking today is to simplify business entry by creating a single access point for entrepreneurs, which entails establishing proper linkages between agencies. We therefore endeavor for the processes required for incorporating a company, obtaining a business license, applying for a tax number, and applying for a social security registration number to be incorporated into a single step, thereby reducing the number of required approvals and eradicating the need to interface with more than one organization. Consideration is also given to the possibility of converting the company registration process to an online one. However, this initiative can only be contemplated after the business entry reforms have been completed and the necessary support given by the stakeholders. The Financial Services Regulatory Department therefore wishes to thank the International Finance Corporation for this collaborative process. We recognize the need for establishing proper linkages between the relevant agencies responsible for facilitating business entry into St. Kitts, and wish to express our commitment to this reform process. It is hoped that our efforts today and in the near